The Last of Us Part 2 is the most talked about, torn apart, and misunderstood game of the last decade. People either call it a disaster or a masterpiece. Me, well, I've totaled over 300 hours in my playthroughs across every platform, and I can say without hesitation, it's a masterpiece. Not in spite of the backlash, but because it dared to spark one. Let's talk. Before we dive into the game itself, we need to talk about what it is. Because The Last of Us Part 2 isn't just another release, it's the product of years of relentless ambition. A project that took over half a decade to build, crafted by hundreds of artists, designers, and engineers pouring everything they had into it. Every facial expression, every animation, every drawer you open, it's all intentional. Nothing is filler. This wasn't just a sequel, it was Naughty Dog pushing their limits, redefining what a narrative driven game could look and feel like, and it raised the bar for technical storytelling and then kicked it over. Compared to the first game, it isn't also just bigger, the game is more alive. Naughty Dog rebuilt their engine to handle denser environments, more dynamic lighting, and smarter AI. And you feel this immediately. Patrol routes more reactive, enemies communicate and flank with terrifying coordination, and the encounters just never play out the same way twice. The world itself is more open, more organic. Gone are these clearly defined combat zones and story corridors. Now the exploration feels seamless. And with the introduction of the prone mechanic, the game's approach to stealth completely changed. You're no longer limited to sneaking behind chest-high cover that conveniently lines up with your crouch height. Now you can lie flat. You can crawl through overgrown weeds, slide under vehicles, or slither across open ground, all while staying hidden. It's a small change in control, but a massive leap in how the encounters are designed. Level designers can now build more open-ended spaces. These encounters aren't just about moving from cover to cover, but thinking in layers, both vertical and horizontal. You're given more freedom, but with that comes more tension. Because now, enemies aren't locked to patterns. They will search and flank, and if a dog catches your scent while you're prone in the grass, well, right here. But it's not just the mechanics that create the tension either, it's also the sound. It's easy to overlook how much of The Last of Us Part 2 lives in your ears. The creak of a broken floorboard, or the subtle crunch of glass under Ellie's boots. The way your breathing shifts when you're hurt or panicked.
A potential solution for the heart rate states, we worked with gameplay programming to create a way for us to interpolate or slew the values that heart rate was sending to the audio middleware. This was so we can get a more hand-authored, realistic sense of growing exhaustion, or the opposite, that recovery in the breath after having sprinted for a long period of time. And so here's a video to demonstrate heart rate active with debug to actually see what's going on.
And then there's the music. Gustavo Santaolalla's score isn't loud or showy. It's sparse, intimate, loaded with weight. A single pluck of a guitar string can carry more emotion than a full orchestra. then when things explode into violence, the sound doesn't just keep up, it dominates.
Get down! Abby, what the fuck?
Manny?
You by yourself?
Yeah. Shit.
This sniper's a fucking pro.
What are you doing out here?
The boats. We were supposed to hit the island tonight. Then this pendejo showed up. I sent the guy to call for help. Backup should be on the way. Should be.
I need one of those boats. Now.
Why?
Ask me later.
Then I guess you're gonna help me take this guy out.
Let's do it.
Stay low! You kill my whole fucking team.
And it's not just the weapons, it's the ambient noise, rain tapping on a rusted car roof, or distant echoes of infected above and below you in a structure you're exploring.
Shit. Just stay up there, okay?
And then there are moments where the sound does more than immerse. It shapes the emotion entirely. Like the steady build of rain and distant thunder as Ellie approaches this aquarium, tension swelling with every step.
Okay. Abby, where are you?
As well, surfaces carry their own weight. Glass, metal.
That could be them. I'll go see what's up.
Drop down onto a rusted elevator floor, and the entire space rings out with layered reverb.
Here. I've got you. I can do it. Let's go.
Audio guys are kind of a different breed. We listen to everything all the time. It's kind of a curse.
The sound team at Naughty Dog went to the extreme, recording for situations and sounds that most players might never actually encounter in the game. Every echo and impact and vibration is grounded in something real and very practical. That obsessive attention to detail creates a soundscape that you feel, even when you're not fully aware of it. It's immersive, invisible craftsmanship, and it's everywhere inside of this game.
No, that
Oh
was
yeah,
cool,
dude.
man.
Yeah, take your time, man.
That's
great.
really great.
One of the folks that we worked with, the sounds he was able to generate from himself was unlike anything I've ever heard before.
Of course, all that atmosphere would fall flat without the mechanics to match.
Got you.
And this is where The Last of Us Part 2 goes even deeper. With the way you move, fight, and explore, every animation, every action feels grounded in weight and consequence. And what's wild is that even after all this time, I still notice new animations I've never seen before. A different way that Ellie climbs over a ledge, or how an enemy reacts to a certain hit, or the way she shields her face from broken glass. It's layered so deeply that no two encounters ever play out the same. That detail isn't just impressive, it feels endless.
She went back that way!
If I ever were to lose you, I'd surely lose myself. Everything I have found here, I'm not found by myself.
And now the story. This is where a lot of people will expect to start listing flaws or compromises. But I'm not going to do that, because the truth is, I love every single moment of it, even more than the first game. Every beat, every risk, every uncomfortable turn, it all worked for me. And one of the reasons is a strong one, with the characters. Every single one, whether they're a lead, supporting role, or someone you just only meet briefly, they feel fully realized. They're given time. They have backstories and motivations, story arcs, some that are so complete they could probably be their own plot in this game. And that's a major shift from the original, where most of the characters only appeared within the boundaries of a single chapter and then vanished. Here, they're in the story from the start, middle, and end. Their choices matter, their presence lingers, and that makes the world feel interconnected, alive, and far more relatable. The structure of the game is just as bold as its themes. You begin with a deeply personal and brutal moment, Joel's death, which is seen through the eyes of Ellie and you, the player. You are locked into grief and rage and a need for revenge, all the same as the main character. The first half of the game fuels this anger and pushes you forward as Ellie tears through Seattle in this search of justice. Then, just as you're fully entrenched in her mission, the game pulls the floor out from underneath you. You're asked to play as Abby, the person responsible for Joel's death. And at first, it feels impossible, unfair. But over time, this perspective starts to shift. This very same city, now through Abby's eyes, gives you a chance to maybe see things differently and realize that everybody has a reason to be a villain in somebody else's eyes. The people that Ellie hunted down, they weren't nameless villains. They had lives and friends. And slowly the game reframes everything. It doesn't ask you to forgive, but it asks you to understand. And by the time Abby's journey crescendos at the very same confrontation you once played through as Ellie, you feel completely torn. And that's not by accident, that's by design. And by the time we return to the farm, Ellie has everything she once fought for: peace, love, and safety. Yet, she still can't let it go. And as the player, this is the final moment where you are so conflicted and do not want her to do any of these things she's about to do, but all we can do is watch. You don't want her to walk away from Dina. You don't want her to leave on this mission. But the grief and the trauma, it's still there. So we follow her one last time as the story plunges into its bleakest stretch, where we both see Abby and Ellie captured, broken, and eventually coming face to face, only now everything feels different. Both of them have lost so much. And as Ellie is in that final moment, ready to potentially ease her pain, or so she thinks, there's a moment where you can almost can't believe the game is asking you to go through with it. But then she stops and she lets go. And in that moment, it's just not Abby she's freeing, it's herself. It's not about vengeance anymore. It's about survival in a different way. It's emotional survival. And Ellie may leave that beach empty handed, missing some fingers and alone, but she's not lost. And she gets to walk away with a part of herself still intact. And in a game defined by pain and violence, that final act of mercy feels like the most powerful choice of all. And at first, I didn't actually love the ending, but not for the reasons you might expect. Honestly, I was just selfish. I wanted more. I needed to know what happened to Ellie and to Abby, and I just wasn't ready to let them go. But after rewatching it a few times that weekend, something changed. That porch scene just hit me hard, and it lingered. That quiet conversation between Ellie and Joel, two people trying to mend something that felt beyond repair, only for that chance of healing to be ripped away the very next day. It's devastating. It's one of the most gut wrenching endings I've ever experienced in any medium. And now, every time I reach that scene in a playthrough, it still gets me. No matter how many times I've seen it, it always feels like someone's cutting onions in the next room. It's the kind of ending that just doesn't close a story, it lives with you. And for me, that's what makes it unforgettable. Thank you guys for watching and letting me share why The Last of Us Part 2 means so much to me. It's a game I believe is nothing short of a masterpiece. It's bold, emotional, and purely unforgettable. If it resonated with you too, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time.